Wow, winter. What a day we're going to have today. Winds 20 to 30 out of the north as the second blast of Arctic air hits the United States, and forecast anywhere between daytime highs of 12 to 15 degrees. So it is that time of year for sure. We do have some snow coverage in Kansas that'll protect the hard red winter wheat crop, but other areas out here with exposure to these kind of temperatures without snow covers, it does damage the hard red winter wheat crop, and we'll see that reflected in wheat prices over the next day or two as the reports come in. So, supportive for wheat. Okay, financials are off because indexes are up. Germany's economic numbers came in better than forecast. Italy's didn't. The EU's numbers were mixed, but generally the focus is the German economy, the U.S. economy, and China's economy. And these three economies are supposed to help pull the world through. So equities are up sharply around the globe. The E-mini is up 6 points, and the last time I looked at it over yesterday's close, and pointed higher this morning. So if the equities do trade higher this morning, I imagine our market, the financials, will be lower. So the breakout came at 28 right down here, and if the market will come back and retest this and the 28 area holds up, then we're set for another rally when the indexes start to sell. The market loves to retest breakouts. People wonder what the language of the market is. It's it's move, probe, a little higher, a little lower, retest support or resistance. If it holds, extend the move. If it holds, it comes back the other. If it's taken out, then it goes back the other way. So you see, markets don't go straight up. They don't go straight down. It's this probing where they extend the range a little bit, and then if support holds, in these cases, it's set to move higher. And that's what you have to really learn to see and understand and appreciate. We get caught up in this, and we think that the market has changed direction every time it has a correction like this. And the shorter your time frame, the more likely you are to make that assessment. So you have to learn the language of the market. It is there. So here we are. We definitely have resistance above 16. So 16 to 20 is probably best resistance right now. And on the support side, I'm guessing we've got 28 to the buck. So we're going to start off trying to buy 1 to 29. And again, we might be just like yesterday. We might have to pay 5s to get in, depending on what happens on the E-mini. And then 21 to 25. Buy 2. On the sell side, we got all this volume up here in the 8 to 12 area. We're at 5.5. So we're going to try to sell 11s to 15s. And we'll have to come back in 19s to 23s. Now we do have news. ADP, and it does cause a reaction. It has very little correlation with what comes out on Friday, the non-farm payroll, but they're looking for 235. Friday's non-farm payroll number is 245. That number would be supportive for the indexes and the economy. Got trade balance, minus 41.5 billion. Crude inventories, plus 0.9 million. And then the FOMC minutes. And so the news focus will be ADP and FOMC minutes. So number 1, number 2, and in the interim, the direction of the E-mini will tell the tale of the tape. So have some news to get through today. Have news on Friday that will tend to buffer. Overnight, yesterday, the protection taken in the financials market was they bought puts. So they understand that the market has rallied. They've enjoyed that, but they're taking protection insurance in the form of a put. And that's how smart players do it. Everything is hedged. Everything is married. Be long futures. Protect your, off your idea. Protect your position with puts. 75% of the money institutionally that's put into the market is done on a spread basis. Cash to futures, futures to options, something. Sector to sector. And what they're trying to eliminate is the news spikes. They don't want that kind of exposure. They don't like that randomness of price or that volatility of price that comes when the news hits. It can take them out of a winning position. What they're playing for is the narrowing of a spread based on fundamentals, or the widening of the spread based on fundamentals, and the price volatility that the spread moves up and it moves down, but the relationship doesn't change all that much on these price spikes. So that's where the smart money goes. So when the market is high, we're pushing 128, we're pushing 150. What do? They buy puts to protect their positions. And that's not a bad way to approach trading, if you think about it. Okay, we have the breakout here, 4706, 4708. We have the last rotate down yesterday, 4712. So 9 to 13 looks like a pretty good buy. And that's where we'd like to engage the market, but buy 1 will be at 17 to 21, and then 9 to 13 will be buy 2. And it all gets down to the direction of E-mini. 31 to 03 will be sell 1, and then 7 to 11 will be sell 2, trying to pick up this volume over here. And if we know which way the E-mini is going today, we've right higher early in the session. We know from which side to trade. Okay, the dollar was once again pretty strong overnight. The euro tumbled. You were able to get off sells against 119. Crude's come back a little bit. Gold's off a little bit because stock markets are up. So again, the focus is what's going to happen in the stock market. So if the stock market rally continues today, the gold should catch some selling. Okay, we came in last night basically wanting to sell, failure to take out 1220, 1225. And so right now, top of value is 17. So 17 to 20, sell 1. 23.25, sell 2. Now the direction of the E-mini, you know what the trade. We're going to make 5 to 7 because it is pointed lower, buy 1. So we were yesterday, then 1200, 1202 for buy 2. And the buy might come here at 12. It just depends on what happens with the E-mini. Okay, looking at the news overnight, you could probably make a fairly strong case that Russia now is starting to go to guerrilla terrorist tactics in the Ukraine. They can point the fingers at others. They can achieve what they want to get and take the sanction pressure off a little bit. That's another factor that could support gold. ISIS looks to be, ISIS's problems that they all face. It's funny when you go back and you read about the breakout from the Arab Peninsula back in the 640s AD. They conquered the world, the known world, pretty much in a very, very short order, and they did that through immediate surrender. They'd show up at the gates, and the first couple of groups obviously did not surrender, and they saw, every male's life taken and the women sold into slavery. And of course, with rumors, the story grows and grows and grows, and so their early that success back then was enjoyed because of just capitulation. And you saw that with ISIS. ISIS came up and outgunned, outmanned everywhere, but their reputation preceded them, and you had like 30,000 soldiers and police surrendered in Mosul only to see their heads cut off. once that stalls and people start to fight back, then their ability to gain and take territory quickly is gone. And then they're subject to a war of attrition if somebody really decides to fight back. So they're facing what all conquerors do. If your adversaries don't surrender and throw in the towel, you're there. So what I see is that the Iraqi government, the Syrian government, the Jordan government, and the rest of them are slowly going to gain the upper hand against ISIS, and with Iran's help. Iran is against ISIS because they're Sunni-based, and so it looks like the Middle East is stabilized. So my guess is sovereign debt collapse, something happens in Ukraine would be another supporting factor for crude, and the chances for something happening to disrupt the flow of oil are pretty minimal in my opinion. Okay, we got volume up here against 49. We've got an overnight high of 75. Brent's back up above 50. We made a new low. Reg last week had identified 47.11. What did they do? They got stops below 47. Had a pretty swift fall. Some retracement is expected. So 50 is the first round number that we will encounter. And somebody will take profits against 50 if we manage to rally that high. So we got a P, we're pointed higher, so 75 to 49, sell 1. And then we'll make 50, 49 and a quarter, 50, sell 2. On the buy side, we've got volume down below 48, so we'll make 48.75, buy 1 on the idea that we can rally it today. And then 25 to 50 for buy 2. I think the low's in for a bit, and especially because we can't crack the 47.50 area, and it starts back up from there. Okay, looking at the euro, Germany's numbers were much better than expected. There were some articles out that from Germany that they could absorb the default or the exit of Greece from the EU without a problem. The euro is pointed lower. That is central bank policy, and you can see the high in London came at 1900. So this 119 is probably a pretty stout barrier. If we take out 118, we're into new territory. The market is pointed down, and we're already hearing talk of 110. So the next round number beneath us is 1.15, and 118 is pretty important support. So if 118 comes out, my guess is the market's pointed to 115. Why? Because it's a round number. The EU is hoping to increase exports outside of the European Union. That's what it's all about. So we have a new move out of the middle. It started at 85, and we got a high at 72, then we have a high at 62, then we have a high at 52. Funny how that works, 72, 62, 52. So the market is pointed lower, so our first sell is going to be in this 50 to 60 area. And 70 to 80 will be sell 2. Trying to pick up this volume number right here. On the buy side, make it 10 to 20. I don't mind buying the 118 just because somebody will cover down there. And so I think there's some opportunity at 118 if we can get it down there. Again, I think, except from a day trading basis, the only time you get long is to cover a short in this particular contract. Can't fight central banks, especially seeing how all of them are lockstep now. That's what makes it so difficult. And that's why you come up with the least bad choice, right? That's why the United States does. The United States, everybody sees the potential for the United States. And energy, Heavy manufacturing coming back onshore, strength of the dollar, political stability compared to other parts of the world, transparency, financial transparency that you don't get out of other parts of the world. So a little change in tax laws, a little cutback in regulation, a little opening up of federal lands to explore for various types of energy could turn the United States around quickly, and everybody sees that, and that's why they're locating factories and plants over here. If you take the current immigration policy where you're guaranteeing low-wage, low-skill workers for as far as the eye can see, then that would be also incentive for manufacturers to relocate over here. The world's biggest market, consumer market. So we are the least bad choice for those reasons. Okay, we have some numbers right here. We've got volume down at our 68, that's our tractor. We've got low volume up here in this 22 area. And we've got this high right here at 10. We've got this high at 22. We've got this low at 38. So 10, our 2022 area, and then this 38 area off of structure would be our 3 resistance points, and it's not going to be too hard to get through 10. Look at the 2 screen. Where the numbers are. D started from 22. That's where the spill came from. And you can see right here at our 10 to 12 area is where resistance is. And they know there's stops up above that. We've got volume at 15. We got the top of value at 16. So our first sell right here could be at the 10 to 12 area. We're going to try 14s to 16 to let them get stops up above here. Take it into the day session, squeeze the shorts. And then the best sell is this 19 to 21 area leaning against those low volume numbers. On the buy side, we broke it out from 5. We're at 9, so 5 plus or minus will be buy 1. And then 2,000 will be buy 2 plus or minus. And this area right here, this 05 area, if this holds up, we got a pretty fair shot at our 20 to 25 area where we found sellers yesterday and set up just a beautiful trade for us. So 10 to 12, that's first resistance. I think we can get through that. 14 to 16 is sell 1. And 19 to 21, sell 2. And 5. Say 5 to 7, buy 1. And then 2,000, 2002, buy 2. Okay, take at least 20 minutes to get everything up and going. I'll get busy on that. I will be back as soon as possible. You have news this morning that can impact the trading. ADP, first one up, and they're looking for 235. Later.